To me,
family is very important.
family to me is important.
It's important.
It shouldn't be by all rights.
Family as we see today, I think, means many different things. Some people have a circle of friends that they would call family. Some people have their immediate bloodline that they would call family.
I grew up here. I grew up locked up most of my life. Ooh, they ain't fun.
Family is a bond that you have with certain people.
Something that really brings up strong feelings in people.
My mother wasn't a mother. She was a monster. Severe alcoholic. My dad was never there.
While there can be many different types of family, the best type of family is one that is close-knit.
Family are the closest people to you.
It's just a bond that just keeps you together and you help each other out throughout the years.
Kind of like a clan, if you will.
Are they closer than your best friend? Closer to anyone that you know?
Very close affiliations of love and friendship.
It's nice to know that they're there and that they'll come and help me in the time of need.
Love is what makes a family. It's not so much what the structure of the family is or what the roles are that are played by whom. What's of ultimate importance is what is the quality of the relationships and the interaction.
I am excited about family right now. Family before was very intimate and very quiet, and I married an Italian Greek woman whose family is huge. So family now is fun. I automatically have another brother, another sister. Now I have dad, 2 moms. My wife is pregnant, and it's an exciting time.
In my own family, my husband and I have 2 daughters. Our older daughter is a lesbian. Our younger daughter is heterosexual. And so we are a family that some people would challenge, wouldn't think we're okay.
Family doesn't necessarily have to be your biological family. It could be just a great relationship with just people that you've known for a long time.
It's in our nature to want to have someone to love and to be loved by.
We're not the closest of families. We tolerate each other.
We have gone in America from multi-generational families to single nuclear families that are often disrupted by divorce.
I think our families have been destroyed.
I got a son I will never get to see. I love him to death, and I call her right.
I think we need to focus back on the family, and I think that's an important event.
Everybody is my family, because we are all human beings. We are all the same family. There's nothing different.
As you can see in your bulletin, I did a lot of research about the family, and it says in Greece, the term family means anybody under my roof. And the furthest southern Mexico, they didn't even have the term family. What they had was a word that was similar, but what it meant was house and support. In all the cultures that I look at, and even in the Supreme Court, we have multiple definitions of the family here in the United States. But there's always one thing that sticks out in the definition, and that is the fact, whatever term you use, family means to support. So for today's purpose, we're going to define family as being a social unit of support. So now when you think about that, a social unit of support, I think, just maybe, that God designed us to have multiple families, not just one family. So for just a second here, I'm going to explain to you what some of these families might look like. First of all, we have our biological or adoptive families. These are your parents, your grandparents, even family that you marry into, or you're related by blood, and you will forever be related to your biological adoptive family. Secondly, I think we have a work family. How many of you here work, have jobs? Are you friends? You have coworkers? You have people that on a day you can work an 8 to 5 job, or you're in an office, or you bond with these people. You have a certain goal for your organization that you work for. So we have our work family. We have a team family. How many of you in here have kids who do sports, travel sports, or any type? And this isn't just necessarily a team, but I think even as adults, I know some people play soccer, or maybe you're in a band. It'd be like a team or like a hobby. My oldest son has played baseball for the last few years, and each year we end up traveling with the same group of people. We stay in hotels together. They're like our team family for a certain portion of the year. Another family that I think we all have is the friend family. And I define my friend family as the refrigerator family and the laundry room family. And what I mean by that is people who are really my friends can come over to my house at any time, open my refrigerator or walk in my laundry room, and I won't pass out in fear of them doing that. These are the friends that we hang out with, that we bond with. And I often hear, it's like, yeah, she's just like my sister, he's just like my brother. We've got a friend family. The fifth family I think that we have is the spiritual family. And this isn't just a spiritual family of people where you go to church with them on Sunday morning. The spiritual family can be much broader than that. And in fact, I think out of all those families, that there's one family that God designed us that we cannot live without. And that's the spiritual family. I think traditional thinking, and some of you have probably seen the triangle, and I'm just putting it on the PowerPoint, that traditional thinking is kind of a linear way. We go like this. We think, here's God, God 1, family 2, oops, and church is 3. But what I think, and I'm not the best artist, but I'm going to do this, instead of the traditional triangle, what if families are supposed to look like this? We have God here in the middle. Everybody see that? And then here we have our SF, our spiritual family. And God's actively involved in the spiritual family. Then out here, we have our biological, adoptive, we've got our team, we've got our work, our hobby families. But see, what's interesting about this is with Jesus in the center, God in the center of this, in the spiritual family, this family right here leaks over into all those other areas. People that you're praying with, people that you lean into when you're hurting, people that support you when you're going through sickness or job loss or things. The spiritual family spreads over into all those other ones. And I think because we are designed in God's image, He has designed us because this is the one family that we can't live without. Prior to coming to the Prairie Chapel, I came to the Prairie Chapel in 2000, I think, is when we first moved here. And I found a spiritual family here, there's no doubt about it. But my first real experience with a spiritual family was in 1990. I was hired by Vineyard Outreach Ministry to be the program coordinator for a program called Open Door or Drop-In. What the program was is Monday through Thursday evening, people who were homeless, people who were in foster care, people who had just been released from prison, people who were at the Kalamazoo Gospel Mission, people who were at the Rickman House, some people with mental illness. Monday through Thursday evening, that's where I used to do it, right there in that little gray dumpy house behind the other house. Monday through Thursday evening, they could come in there. I'd provide them a meal. We'd have food, we'd have dessert, we'd have coffee. I'd do some sort of an activity with them. We would pray together. I would try to teach in a way that's creative, some type of a lesson. Many hadn't accepted Christ. It was a street ministry, and it was an amazing opportunity for me. One of the things that happened while I was at the drop-in is when I first started, there was like 10 people who were coming. And pretty soon it's like they started bringing more, and then it was 15, and then it was 20. And most of these people, they didn't even have a biological, adoptive, work, or friend family to even be with. The drop-in Open Door became their family. These folks started to pray. These folks started to lean into each other. They made a commitment to grow this program. That right there, which is a party store right now, this is the corner of Westnedge and Randy, downtown Kalamazoo, that's where we used to do church. From this Open Door program, we actually birthed like a storefront church where every Sunday I would go down with Kathy Pale and we would hold a church service in this little building. One of the things at Drop-In that was interesting is many had been in jail or had abandonment issues. They had so many things going on. But as I got to know them and I started to work more closely with them, they started to open up with me. We started doing activities. We went to the bowling alley. Some of them had never been bowling. We went to the air show. They had never been to the air show. We went to the museum.